Liam, what if I told you that you could improve your English while you are completely asleep?
I would say that sounds too good to be true.
That is exactly what most people think, but science says otherwise. And in today's episode, we are going to show you exactly how it works, what to listen to, and how to make it part of your nightly routine.
So if you have ever gone to sleep wishing you could wake up speaking better English, this episode is for you. Stay with us.
Floating topic bubbles.
Grammar, fluency, speaking, listening.
Hello and welcome to Speak English with Learn, the podcast where real English conversations help you grow, improve, and feel confident every single day. I am Sophie.
And I am Liam, and we are so glad you are here with us today.
Whether you are listening on your morning commute, during lunch, or very appropriately right before bed, we are happy you pressed play.
Right before bed is honestly the perfect time for this one.
It really is, because today's topic is something that absolutely blew our minds when we first heard about it.
It is something a lot of people have wondered about, but never really explored.
Can you actually learn English while you are sleeping?
And not just sleeping, deeply, completely, eyes closed asleep.
We are going to answer that question today, fully, honestly, with real science and real practical tips.
And as always, before we get into it, if you are new here, please subscribe to Speak English with Learn. We release new podcast episodes regularly, and every single one is designed to help you grow your English naturally.
Now, let us get into it. Liam, can our brains actually learn while we sleep?
Okay, so this is the part that genuinely surprised me when I first read about it. Sophie, most people assume that when you fall asleep, your brain just switches off.
Right, like turning off a computer.
Exactly. But that is completely wrong. When you sleep, your brain is actually incredibly active.
What is it doing?
It is sorting, organizing, filing. Everything you experienced, learned, and heard during the day, your brain spends the night deciding what to keep and what to delete.
Oh wow! So sleep is like your brain's filing system.
That is a perfect way to put it. And scientists have a name for this process. It is called memory consolidation.
Memory consolidation. So basically, while we sleep, our brains are consolidating everything we learned.
Exactly. Moving information from short-term memory into long-term memory. And this happens during specific sleep stages, particularly deep sleep and REM sleep.
REM sleep. That is the dreaming stage, right?
Yes, and both of those stages are crucial for language learning. Because language is not just facts, it is patterns, sounds, rhythms. And your brain processes all of those things while you are asleep.
This is genuinely fascinating. So, when I study new English vocabulary during the day, my brain is actually working on it again at night?
Yes, without you doing anything, just by sleeping.
Okay, but Liam, is there actual research to back this up? Or is this just a theory?
Great question. And yes, there is research. A study by Swiss scientists divided people into two groups. Both groups studied new vocabulary in a foreign language, but one group listened to those words again during sleep. The other group did not.
And what happened?
The group that listened during sleep remembered significantly more words the next day.
Significantly more. That is incredible.
And what makes it even more interesting is that the listening happened during slow wave sleep, which is deep sleep. The participants were not conscious. They were not trying to memorize anything, but their brains were still responding.
So the brain does not need us to be awake to do its job.
Exactly. The brain is always working, even when we are not.
But Liam, I want to be honest with our listeners here. Does this mean you can just play English all night and wake up fluent?
I knew you were going to ask that.
Because a lot of people are probably thinking that right now.
The honest answer is no. Sleep learning is not a magic trick. It is a supplement, a powerful one, but a supplement.
So it works best alongside active learning.
Exactly. You still need to read, listen, speak, and practice during the day. But when you add sleep learning on top of that, you accelerate the results.
Okay, so sleep learning is not a replacement, it is a booster.
A booster. I love that word for it.
Brilliant. Now let us talk about how to actually use this. Because knowing the science is one thing, but our listeners want practical steps they can start using tonight.
All right, step one, and this is the most important one. Choose the right content.
Because not all English audio is suitable for sleep learning.
Not at all. When you are asleep, your brain cannot process fast, complex, or unpredictable content. It needs something calm, clear, and structured.
So, what kind of content works?
Think about simple English conversations, dialogues between two people talking about everyday topics, like this podcast actually.
We are literally the perfect sleep learning content.
We really are. Also, vocabulary lists with example sentences, common English phrases repeated clearly, gentle audiobooks with slow narration, and positive affirmations in English.
Oh, I love the affirmation idea. Things like, I am getting better at English every day. My pronunciation is improving. I understand English more easily now.
Yes, those kinds of sentences are incredible for sleep learning because they are simple, positive, and your brain absorbs them without effort.
So, step one is choosing the right content. Slow, clear, simple, and structured. What is step two?
Step two is setting up your sleep environment properly. And there are three things to remember here.
Tell me.
First, keep the volume very low. You want the audio to be in the background, like a gentle whisper, not loud enough to keep you awake, just present enough for your brain to register.
That is such an important point. A lot of people make the mistake of playing audio too loudly, and then they cannot fall asleep properly.
Exactly. And disrupted sleep actually makes learning worse, not better. So low volume is essential.
What is the second thing?
Use a sleep timer. You do not want audio playing all night. 45 minutes to 90 minutes is ideal. Set a timer on your phone so the audio stops automatically.
That is so smart. Because deep sleep, which is when memory consolidation happens most, is usually later in the night. You want to let your brain reach that stage naturally.
Exactly. And the third thing, choose the right device. A small Bluetooth speaker near your bed is perfect. Or, if you share a room, comfortable sleep earbuds. The goal is to hear it clearly without it being intrusive.
So, low volume, sleep timer, right device. That sets up the environment. What about tracking progress? How do you know if it is actually working?
Great question. The best way is to test yourself the next morning. When you wake up, before you look at your phone, before you do anything, just try to remember words or phrases from what you listened to the night before.
And write them down?
Write them down. Then try using them in a sentence during the day. That simple act of retrieval, trying to remember and then using it, cements the memory permanently.
So the sleep learning plants the seed, and the daytime practice waters it.
That is a beautiful way to put it. The seed and the water.
Okay, so we have chosen our content, set up the environment, and know how to track progress. Let us go even deeper now. What are the very best types of content for sleep learning?
Liam, if someone came to you tonight and said, I want to start sleep learning, what do I put on? What would you tell them?
Honestly, I would tell them to start with something they have already listened to before. Familiar content.
Why familiar?
Because your brain is not discovering something new during sleep. It is reinforcing what it already encountered. So if you spend 20 minutes during the day listening to a conversation about daily routines, listen to that same recording again at night.
Re-exposure. You are giving your brain a second chance to absorb the same information.
Exactly. And this is actually the most effective form of sleep learning. Not new material, reviewed material.
Okay, so let us say someone has been listening to our podcast episodes during the day. They could replay those same episodes while falling asleep at night.
Perfect, because our conversations are clear, relatively slow, and full of natural English phrases and vocabulary. That is exactly the right kind of content.
What else works well?
Vocabulary audio. Recordings where a word is spoken clearly, then used in a sentence, then repeated. Like, curious. She was curious about everything around her. Curious. That structure is excellent for sleep learning.
Because the repetition gives the brain multiple chances to register the word.
Exactly. And the example sentence gives context. Context is everything in language learning. What about audiobooks?
Slow, simple audiobooks are wonderful. Something like a short story for English learners, not a complex novel. Clear narration, simple vocabulary, a gentle pace. Your brain follows the story and absorbs the language at the same time.
And what about music? Some people love falling asleep to music. Can English songs help?
They can, with one condition. The lyrics need to be clear and you should already know the song well. If the words are mumbled or if the music is too loud, your brain focuses on the sound rather than the language.
So it is the same principle. Familiar, clear, and not overwhelming.
Always. And there is one more content type I want to mention. Guided English meditations. These are recordings designed for relaxation that use simple, beautiful English language. Your body relaxes, your mind opens up, and your brain absorbs the language almost effortlessly.
I have actually used these and they are genuinely wonderful. You feel calm and your English is improving at the same time.
That is the dream. Quite literally.
Quite literally. Okay, we know the science, we know the setup, we know what to listen to. Now let us talk about best practices. How do you get the absolute most out of this technique?
Okay, best practices. Let us go through them clearly. Best practice number 1. Always study first, then sleep. Your day should always involve active English practice. Reading, speaking, listening, writing. Sleep learning builds on that foundation. It does not replace it.
Study by day, reinforce by night.
Exactly. Best practice number 2. Listen at the right moment. The ideal time to start your sleep audio is just as you are falling asleep. That twilight moment between awake and asleep is when your brain is incredibly receptive.
Oh, that is interesting. Not after you are fully asleep, but as you are drifting off.
Yes, some researchers call that the hypnagogic state. And in that state, your brain absorbs language patterns very efficiently.
So the timing matters. Not just what you listen to, but when you press play.
Exactly. Best practice number 3. Review in the morning. Before you check social media, before you have breakfast, spend 5 minutes thinking about what you heard the night before. Can you recall any words, any phrases? Write them down. Use them.
That morning review is the bridge between sleep learning and real fluency.
Perfect way to describe it. Best practice number 4. Be consistent. This is not something that works after one night. Like any form of learning, it builds over time. Commit to 2 or 3 weeks of nightly sleep learning, and you will start noticing real differences.
And what kind of differences should people expect?
Words feeling more familiar. Phrases coming to mind more easily. Understanding natural English conversations faster. Not because you magically downloaded the language, but because you gave your brain repeated, gentle exposure over time.
Consistent, gentle exposure. That is the secret.
And best practice number 5, protect your sleep quality above everything. Sleep learning should never come at the cost of good sleep. If the audio is keeping you awake, lower the volume or stop the experiment for a night. Good sleep is the foundation of all learning.
I love that you said that. Because some people might think more audio equals more learning. But if you're losing sleep over it, you're doing the opposite of what you want.
Exactly. Sleep is not the delivery system for learning. Sleep is when the learning actually happens. The audio is just a gentle prompt.
Beautiful. Now, I know our listeners are wondering about real results. Has this actually worked for people?
Yes, and these stories are genuinely inspiring. I want to share a couple with you. The first one is about a woman named Amara. She was learning English and found pronunciation especially difficult. She started replaying our podcast episodes softly every night as she fell asleep. After about 6 weeks, she noticed something remarkable.
What happened?
She said that English phrases just started appearing in her mind more naturally. When she spoke, she was not translating from her first language anymore. The English was just there, ready.
That is exactly what fluency feels like. Not thinking in another language first, just speaking.
And she credited the sleep learning as the thing that made that shift happen faster.
That is incredible. Do you have another story?
Yes, a man named Daniel. He had a full-time job and found it hard to study English during the day. So he started listening to vocabulary audio while sleeping, just simple word and sentence recordings. Within a month, he said words he had heard only a few times suddenly felt completely familiar in conversation.
Because his brain had been hearing them again and again during sleep, building that familiarity quietly in the background.
Exactly. He called it the invisible study session.
The invisible study session. I love that.
And that is exactly what sleep learning is. It is the study session that happens when you are not even trying.
Okay, let us pull everything together for our listeners. Here is what we covered today.
1. Your brain does not switch off when you sleep. It consolidates memories and processes information. including language.
2. Sleep learning works best as a supplement to active daytime practice, not a replacement.
3. Choose the right content. Slow, clear, familiar, and simple. Our podcast episodes are a great starting point.
4. Set up your environment properly. Low volume, sleep timer, comfortable device.
5. Review in the morning. That 5-minute morning recall is what turns sleep learning into real fluency.
6. Be consistent. 2 to 3 weeks of nightly practice before you judge the results.
And 7. Protect your sleep above all. Sleep is not just the method. Sleep is the magic.
So here is your challenge for tonight. Pick one of our past podcast episodes or any slow, clear English audio. Set it to play softly as you fall asleep. Set a timer for 60 to 90 minutes. And tomorrow morning, try to recall just one phrase or one word you heard.
Just one. That is all. And build from there.
If you try it, come back and tell us in the comments how it went. We read every single message and we would love to hear your experience.
And if this episode was helpful to you today, please subscribe to Speak English with Learn. Every episode we make is designed to give you real, practical English in a format that feels natural and enjoyable.
Because learning English should not feel like a chore. It should feel like a conversation.
Like this one.
Exactly like this one. Thank you so much for listening today. We genuinely appreciate every single one of you.
Keep practicing. Keep listening. And tonight, let your brain do a little extra work while you rest.
Sleep well, learn well, and we will see you in the very next episode.
Good night, everyone. Or good morning. Or good afternoon. Wherever you are in the world.
Whenever you are listening, we are glad you are here.
Bye.
Bye.